world, my name is Mandy Banga, and I'm what you would call a South Asian music junkie. So I'm not really into classical Indian music, and I'm not even really talking about Bollywood. I'm talking more about progressive South Asian music. That term may not be completely familiar to you though. Progressive South Asian music is a genre of music which fosters the development of South Asian music into a more non-traditional sense. These are sounds that blend hip-hop, pop, electronic, and more. This genre really steers away from traditional South Asian music and concentrates more on a New Age sound. In this podcast, I'll be talking about the birth of the progressive South Asian music scene and its evolution over the past few decades. The progressive South Asian music scene didn't start till the late 1980s. During this time, children of South Asian immigrants in the US, UK, and Canada began to adapt to the culture of the Western world. Most of these kids grew up in a East meets West household, which became embedded in their everyday lives, including their music. This is exactly what pushed these musicians to produce South Asian music in a non-traditional sense. Quite honestly, I think a lot of these musicians were tired of listening to the traditional South Asian music that was once played by our parents and grandparents. Well, these creative music souls who started this movement were rebels against what was really traditional. Little did they know they would start an entire musical movement that would change the face of South Asian music forever. Let's take a look at the beginning of this phenomenon. In 1989, a 22-year-old singer by the name of Johnny Z was the first South Asian singer to use the English language in his lyrics. He developed an Asian fusion type of sound. In 1991, a music composer and tabla player by the name of Talvin Singh created an innovative mix of classical Indian music and drum and bass sounds. Soon after, in 1993, a music producer and rapper by the name of Punjabi MC took originally produced Bhangra music and mixed hip-hop beats and rap flows. A year later, Bolly Sagoo was one of the first music producers who began remixing classical Bollywood songs and gave them a westernized sound. Now that I've given you a better idea of the beginning days of the progressive South Asian music movement, I hope you understand how young and fresh this movement really is. You can get more information about the progressive South Asian music scene at my blog. Please visit southasianmusicality.wordpress.com.